The world stood on the precipice, teetering on the edge of an abyss that few had seen coming. A global cyber attack, unlike anything ever seen, had crippled major financial institutions just weeks ago, sending ripples of fear and uncertainty through the global economy. The attack, a chilling display of technological prowess, sent shockwaves through the world's financial capitals, causing markets to plummet and economies to falter. Governments and corporations reeled, struggling to comprehend the sophistication of the assault. Meetings were held behind closed doors, and the air was thick with tension and confusion. Whispers of a new era of cyber warfare, powered by the enigmatic force of quantum computing, filled the air. Experts debated the implications, realizing that the rules of engagement had fundamentally changed. The world held its breath, waiting for the next move in this high-stakes game of digital cat and mouse.
The question wasn't if another attack would come. The question was when. Time seemed to stretch and compress, every second laden with the weight of impending doom.
At the heart of this digital storm was Marcus, a young cybersecurity expert with a knack for seeing patterns where others saw chaos. Marcus had stumbled upon the terrifying truth. This was no ordinary hack. It was a sophisticated, multi-layered assault designed to exploit the very fabric of digital security. The attack bore the chilling signature of quantum interference, a new and terrifying frontier in cyber warfare. This ghost in the machine defied conventional explanation, leaving experts baffled and systems vulnerable. Marcus, thrust into a world of espionage and digital warfare, found himself navigating a labyrinth of codes and conspiracies. He was now at the forefront of a global race against time, a race that would determine the fate of nations and economies. With every keystroke, Marcus felt the weight of the world on his shoulders. The pressure was immense, but so was his resolve. The fate of the world, it seemed, rested on his shoulders. He had to find a way to stop the next attack before it was too late, before the digital storm consumed everything. Marcus knew that failure was not an option. The clock was ticking and the world was watching. The financial district of Toronto hummed with an uneasy energy. The streets were bustling with people, each one absorbed in their own world, unaware of the invisible storm brewing around them. Skyscrapers pierced the sky, monuments to wealth and ambition. But beneath the veneer of normalcy, a digital tempest brewed. The towering structures seemed to mock the fragility of the systems they housed.
Eyes glued to his monitors, Marcus scanned the torrent of data flowing through the global financial networks. Each line of code, each data packet, was a potential clue in the vast digital ocean. The air crackled with tension. Colleagues whispered in hushed tones, their faces etched with worry. The stakes were high and everyone knew it. He was hunting a ghost, a whisper in the digital wind. Every anomaly, every irregularity was a potential lead. Then he saw it, an anomaly, a flicker in the fabric of the digital world. It was a brief, almost imperceptible glitch, but it was enough to catch his trained eye. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but unmistakably there, a digital fingerprint left behind by an unseen hand. The telltale sign of quantum entanglement, a phenomenon that defied the laws of classical physics. It was as if the very fabric of reality had been twisted and manipulated. Someone, somewhere, was manipulating the very building blocks of reality to gain access to the world's financial systems. This was no ordinary hacker. This was someone with knowledge far beyond the norm. The attack on Toronto was just the beginning. News outlets buzzed with reports of similar breaches in other major financial hubs around the world.
A cold dread washed over Marcus. The implications were staggering. If this continued, the global financial system could be brought to its knees. He had found his ghost, the elusive entity that had been haunting the digital corridors of the financial world. And it was only a matter of time before it struck again. The clock was ticking, and the race to stop the next attack had begun. Deep in the New Mexico desert, far from the glittering towers of the financial world, Dr. Alia Katim studied the cosmos. An astrophysicist by trade, Dr. Katim had been drawn into the investigation after Marcus discovered a bizarre correlation between the cyber attacks and fluctuations in cosmic background radiation. The patterns were too precise, too intricate to be mere coincidence.
There's a rhythm to it, a symphony of cosmic energy. The financial markets, she realized, weren't just being manipulated, They were being conducted, orchestrated by an unseen hand that moved to the beat of the cosmos.
Dr. Katim, her brow furrowed in concentration, traced the patterns of cosmic energy with her fingers. The universe, she believed, held the key to understanding this new breed of cyber warfare. Half a world away, in the bustling metropolis of Singapore, Dr. Mir Karim, a leading expert in quantum cryptography, worked feverishly. Alerted to the Toronto attack and the strange quantum signatures Marcus had uncovered, Dr. Karim had been running simulations, desperately trying to understand the scale and scope of the threat. His findings were nothing short of terrifying.
It's not just financial markets. They're targeting everything. Power grids, communication networks, military infrastructure. The attackers, he explained, weren't just stealing information or disrupting systems, they were building something. A weapon of unprecedented power, capable of holding the entire world hostage.
Dr. Karim's words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of their implications. The world was on the brink of a new kind of war.
In Berlin, I, Dr. Klaus Schmidt, a renowned cybersecurity analyst, poured over terabytes of data. I was searching for a connection, a thread that linked the seemingly disparate cyber attacks and data breaches happening around the globe. I had been following the trail of digital crumbs for weeks. Then I found it.
A single line of code hidden within the chaos of a recent data breach at a personal genomics company. The code was a beacon, a homing signal. But what was it targeting?
My fingers flew across the keyboard, tracing the signal's path through the digital labyrinth. My heart pounded in my chest as I uncovered the horrifying truth. The signal wasn't headed for a bank or a government agency. It was headed for the Dubai power grid.
Across continents, a global team of experts, brought together by the urgency of the crisis, worked tirelessly. Marcus, Dr. Katim, Dr. Karim, Dr. Schmidt and a host of others, their faces illuminated by the cold glow of their monitors, shared information, their voices a chorus of concern and determination in the digital ether. They knew they were running out of time. Every second counted and the pressure was immense. The stakes were higher than ever before and failure was not an option.
Puzzles are falling into place, but the bigger picture remains frustratingly out of reach. Each new discovery brought more questions than answers, and the team felt the weight of the unknown pressing down on them. They were close, but not close enough.
Then a breakthrough, a name, or rather the absence of one. Deep within the tangled web of data breaches and cyber intrusions, they discovered a redacted profile. It was a clue, a small but significant piece of the puzzle. The profile was meticulously hidden, buried under layers of encryption and false leads.
Someone with the skills and resources to orchestrate a global cyber attack of this magnitude is deliberately trying to stay hidden. But why? What was their endgame? The team knew they were dealing with a formidable adversary, someone who was always one step ahead.
The question gnawed at them. Who was this ghost in the machine, and what were they trying to achieve? The team was determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. They knew that solving this mystery was the key to preventing a catastrophe. The clock was ticking and the world was watching. As the hours ticked by, the tension ratcheted up another notch. Global financial markets teetered on the brink of collapse. The strain on power grids and communication networks intensified. The world held its breath, bracing for the next attack.
Every line of code I analyze, every anomaly I uncover, could be the key to stopping the next attack.
Time was running out. The attackers, emboldened by their success, were growing bolder, their tactics more brazen. They were playing a high-stakes game, and they were winning. The world watched in fear and anticipation, praying for a miracle. But miracles, Marcus knew, were in short supply in the cold, calculating world of cyber warfare. And then, just when all hope seemed lost, a glimmer of light in the darkness. Hidden within the fabric of the redacted profile, obscured by layers of sophisticated encryption, Marcus discovered a single clue, a decryption key.
It's a long shot, but it's all we have. The fate of the world hinges on this one solitary key.
With bated breath, Marcus initiated the decryption sequence. The room fell silent, the only sound the hum of the servers and the frantic pounding of their hearts. Then the impossible happened. The encrypted data bloomed on the screen, revealing a face that sent a collective gasp through the room, a face that was supposed to be dead. The world watched in stunned silence as the face of the supposedly deceased cybercriminal Long thought to be nothing more than a ghost story, whispered in the darkest corners of the internet, flickered to life on screens across the globe. The implications were staggering. The ghost in the machine had a name, and a history shrouded in darkness. But why resurface now? What was the endgame? The answers, they knew, lay buried deep within the labyrinthine heart of Project Eclipse, the code name given to the global cyber attack. As the world reeled from this latest revelation, one thing became terrifyingly clear: the game had just changed. The players were no longer hidden in the shadows, and the stakes had just gotten a whole lot higher.